Hi, welcome to URBANesque Living. I'm your host, Chef Tish Tansil, and today I have a kitchen culinary safety tip for you. Have you ever gone to the farmer's market and you walk in and you find that they have this fabulous deal on chicken, and the chicken is already cut up, and all you have to do is take it home, divide it up, and get it ready to serve? And say you're a single woman like me and you just want to have maybe a chicken thigh or two here or there. You don't want to have all of that chicken at one time. The problem is you get home and you find that something happens to take you away from dividing that chicken up like it should be divided. So you just take that entire package of chicken that you just purchased and toss it into your freezer. And in turn you end up forgetting about it. So what happens is the chicken freezes in one big wad of chicken meats, such as this one. I forgot to separate my chicken when I got it home from the market. So now I have this big wad of chicken thighs. I'm not going to eat all this at one time. And so the optimum thing would have been for me to just separate them so that I could use them as I needed them. So now that I need to use them, I have to let them thaw. So I'm going to share with you some of the safe ways to thaw out your chicken so that you don't contaminate the chicken and contaminate the people who eat the chicken. The first method that I'm going to share with you is called the refrigeration method. And so the refrigeration method is you take your chicken from the freezer and you put it in the refrigerator and you're going to let it thaw. And so the problem is with the refrigeration method is that you have to plan ahead. And if you have a chunk of chicken that's frozen like this one, it's going to take 24 hours for every 5 pounds of chicken that you have to thaw. This is already on its second day, and as you can see, this has barely thawed. So this actually has about 2 to 3 more days of thawing before I can use this chicken. Now, when you do thaw chicken in the refrigerator, you have to make sure that you're keeping the rest of the food safe. And in keeping the rest of the food safe, I mean that you must make sure that none of the chicken blood drips on anything else in your refrigerator. So in order to do that, you have to clear out some space in your refrigerator. There is a hierarchy of thawing and kitchen storage in the refrigerator. Chicken is never stored on the top shelf, raw chicken. If it's cooked chicken, that's a different story. But raw chicken is always thawed on the bottom shelf because as it thaws, that chicken blood might contaminate other food that's below it. So you're going to want to make sure that your chicken thaws on the lowest possible shelf. Now, once you've done that, you want to make sure that it still doesn't get into the shelves of your kitchen refrigerator. So what I've done is I've kept it in the bag that it came in. And as we know, sometimes chicken has bones that prick into your bag. And so therefore, this bag might not be totally protected and sealed to keep that blood in case some blood escapes. So I put it in an aluminum container, and so this will actually catch any blood. Now as you know, aluminum is not always infallible. Sometimes a knife can go through it, something can prick it, you never know what might happen. So in the case that our aluminum has some type of a hole in it, I have a plastic tray that is on. So one of these 3 methods is going to make sure that the rest of my items in my refrigerator are protected. And so we want to make sure that our chicken is safe. And by safe I mean you want to make sure that it's not in the danger zone. And the danger zone for chicken is between 40 degrees and 140 degrees. So your refrigerator has to be set at least 39 degrees and below for this chicken to thaw, which is why it takes so long for it to thaw, because it's not that far away from the freezing point. So that's our first method of thawing chicken. Our second method of thawing chicken is under running water. And so what you would do is take the chicken out of the bag, and you're going to let this container fill with water, and you're going to let a stream of water trickle down into the pan until the chicken is thawed. Now that method is going to thaw your chicken sooner than the refrigeration method. The problem is that you must make sure that that water is below 40 degrees and that sometimes the chicken floats and that those parts stay submerged. So you have a higher incidence of your chicken getting between that danger zone when you're doing the water method. The third method that I want to share with you is the microwave method. And the microwave method is great if you have a microwave. I do not. And if your microwave is large enough to hold this size chicken. Sometimes we have those mini microwave ovens, so if you have some small chicken, that's fine. Now the problem with the microwave method is that when you use it, sometimes the chicken starts to cook on the outside because the outer chicken is going to cook a little bit faster than that chicken that's all the way on the inside of this ice block. So you're going to have some chicken that's in the danger zone and some chicken that's still frozen. And unfortunately, that might all be on one piece of chicken. And so you're going to want to use that chicken almost immediately after you thawed it. And that is going to be, you're going to put it on the grill, you're going to broil it, but somehow you're going to use it. You're not going to take that thawed chicken from the microwave and stick it back into your freezer because that chicken has possibly been into that danger zone. Now, the final method that you can use to thaw out your chicken is to just cook it. And yes, you can just take this entire wad, put it in the pan, stick it in the oven, and start cooking it. And of course, that is going to melt the ice that is in the chicken's meat. Now, the problem that I have with that method is that you really aren't going to be able to flavor that chicken very well because it has been full of water. Now, if you had caught it soon enough and you had marinated this chicken prior to freezing it, then it would probably have a wonderful flavor when you cook it. And so that is our fourth method of thawing chicken. One thing I want to point out is that there are ways that you should never thaw out your chicken. And the first way that you should never thaw out your chicken is by just leaving it out at room temperature. Yes, that will thaw the chicken, and yes, it will also contaminate the chicken. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to have people who are sick and suing you for salmonella poisoning. So leaving the chicken out is not a good idea. The basement is not a good idea. Leaving it in the garage is not a good idea. Putting it in a garbage bag and letting it thaw is not a good idea. It's also not a good idea to just leave the chicken in water and just let it sit because that blood is going to heat up and it's going to contaminate the chicken and the people who also eat the chicken. So my chicken has a few more days. So once this chicken has thawed, I'm going to share with you some wonderful chicken recipes that will just blow your mind. So if you have any questions on how to thaw chicken or any other meat products, please go to my Facebook page and I have a little section on how to safely thaw your chicken and you can just click on that and read it for yourself. If you have any other questions, you can email me at tishtansil@gmail.com. But my Facebook page is Tish Tansil, or you can just type in URBANesque Living. I would love to hear from you. So, once again, this is my kitchen safety tip, how to safely thaw your chicken. Thank you for joining me on this URBANesque Living. Tish Tansil, the host of URBANesque Living. Join me Saturday afternoons at 2:30 on Comcast TV 68. I look forward to cooking with you.